Yo, what's going on? This is Dead Boy Fred. Welcome back to another video. Now, in today's video, I told you guys in yesterday's video, we got a special video, and I feel as being a predominantly anime channel, it's only right that I give you guys my top 10 favorite animes of all time. And specifically, I decided to do this video today, which is my birthday as well. So if you want to, you can wish me a happy birthday. If not, that's always fine as well. But of course, this is a very controversial video, as they all. This is my personal list. This is not yours, so don't get pressed if one of your favorite animes isn't on mine. It just is what it is. If I think a show is better than another, that is what it is. Now, let's get straight into this with number 10. Number 10 on my list is going to be my favorite personal new gen, which is Fire Force. Now, there are a lot of things I love a lot about Fire Force. I think is probably one of the more well-written new gen, especially out of the ones that it's in the pairs with being, My Hero, Black Clover, Boruto, Demon Slayer. I personally believe it's one of the better written ones. Not to say any of those are badly written, because those are all well-written shows as well. But I genuinely enjoy Fire Force's character. I enjoy its story a whole lot more than I enjoy the rest. It actually has probably like a top five anime story for me. Like the story is very depth for Fire Force. It has this very cynical, just very different vibe worth of a story when it comes to anime, and I really enjoy it. So I feel like if you've never watched Fire Force, I feel like you should always give it a chance. I think it's a very nice show, very good new gen, and just all around a very good show to watch. Now moving on to number 9 for me is going to be Parasite. Now, Parasite, on the other hand, is a very well story driven show. I mean, it has action in it, but it is very well driven in the story and the mix of the action. So it's a very well blend. I generally enjoy the whole, aliens coming down and them not having emotions and anything like that, and the main parasite, becoming more human like the more he's around. And it's flat out just a very interesting show from start to finish. Um short short show, only 24 episodes, but I feel like it's definitely a show that everyone should try out. Now coming in at number 8 for me is going to be JoJo. Now JoJo's Bizarre Adventure is a very mixed feeling show. There are a lot of people who dislike it. There are a lot of people who love it. I'm one of the people who love it. There are a lot of people that call it sus, and that call it all other type of things, but JoJo is nothing but a great show if you ask me. Even if you ask me how long does it take JoJo to get good, I'm always going to tell you 9 episodes. But I mean, even those first 9 episodes aren't the worst. Like they are not unbearable to the point where you can't watch it. It's very easy to get through it. It's just part two is when it predominantly, in my opinion, gets a lot better. And then from there on, the show just picks up and it doesn't slow down. Especially when you get the things like part four and part five, which are very well written stories, and the character and the cast and all that is just. And even in part four, you get a very good villain. Part five, you get a very good protagonist, a good villain in there as well too. He's more hidden until the very end, but nonetheless, a very good show. And people gotta stop dissing it for no reason. Now coming in at number 6 is when the controversy starts coming in. At least for my list, I would say. Coming in at number 6, I have Death Note. Now, Death Note would have been higher on this list, on my personal list, had it not been because of the ending. Now, you could ask me any day of the week, and I will always tell you Death Note could have been a 10 out of 10, if not only because of the ending. Sadly, Death Note is always going to be a 9 out of 10 for me from here on out, and it never will ever change because I don't enjoy Nier whatsoever. I don't enjoy the final arc. Nothing about it really just spiked my interest. I didn't really like how all of that went down. Um, I felt like there were careless mistakes that I feel like Light before, when he was going against L, he wouldn't have let things like that get past him. It's just he was being cocky and he was being dumb. He thought he had it all. It wasn't like him. It was like it felt to me like they changed Light's character and just turned him into this totally different person that wouldn't have fell for stuff like this in the first half, which personally I didn't really enjoy. But there are some people who do like it and they felt that it was needed, but just not for me. Still a great show. I definitely recommend watching it. Now, coming in at number 6, I hope I said that. Yeah. Okay. If I didn't say six for the last one, I meant seven. I'm sorry, but number six is going to be Full Metal Alchemist. Now, Full Metal is a very great show, and for the longest was in my top five until there was another show that pushed it out. But Full Metal Alchemist is absolutely great from start to finish. It probably is number one when it comes to story. When it comes to storytelling and all the anime I've watched, it's probably number one. I really enjoy Full Metal Story. It's amazing from start to finish. The Elric brothers are amazing. Father, all the greed, all the homunculi, everything about Full Metal is great. The comedy, everything is so well blended with that show. It is by far like it gets all the hype it deserves. Personally, like I see a lot of people say that the show is overrated, but I never will ever say that because I feel like every lick of hype that it gets is every lick it deserves. Just like people overhype, in my opinion, Attack on Titan and Demon Slayer. There are some people who think it deserves every lick of that. I don't personally, but I mean to each his own. And I think Full Metal is one of those shows that deserves it. Now, moving on to the top five, coming in at number five is Naruto. Now, of course, I make predominantly Naruto videos, so that might be a shocker to some people, but there are shows who are better. Uh, I really don't think I need to go into very much detail on Naruto. Uh, I make videos on it, so you got to know how much I like it. It's a very enjoyable show. The second anime I've ever watched, the longest for the longest time, it was the longest anime I watched. It's the only anime I've ever rewatched multiple times fully. Um, Naruto's great. It was in my like second video, which was anime recommendations I give to newcomers. It's a very good show. I mean, most of everyone should know about Naruto at this point in time, especially if you've been around in this channel all this time. Now, moving on to number four is another anime I've hyped up recently. Let me not say recently, but a little bit in the past. It's Code Geass. Now, Code Geass is 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10, no diff. I love Code Geass from start to finish. Lelouch is like neck and neck with someone else for my favorite MC. It's like it's very very close between them, and like I love everything about Lelouch. I feel like everything like Lelouch and Light are very comparable, but I feel like everything ends up leaning in Lelouch's favor in my opinion. His show, his idols, his goals, the way he went about things, the way he didn't let his cockiness, overconfidence him, you know, things like that. He didn't get overconfident. He didn't let his attitude get the best of him. When he felt that it was a situation he couldn't handle, he backed out, made the smart decision. Unlike Light, who kept going, you know, he knew, Lelouch knew when he had to risk things, and he was gonna have to pay a price. He was willing to take out. All right, actually, let me not spoil the show, but he was able to do a lot of. He was willing to do a lot of things to get the goal of in all of trying to protect and save not only and get the best life for her. So, Code Geass is amazing. Code Geass, I give it 10 out of 10. I definitely think it is better than Death Note, which it is mostly comparable to, as I see for the most part. But yeah, that's just me. Now moving on to our top three, uh, we have at number three Bleach. Bleach, I do enjoy. If I want to make sense out of this, out of all the big three, I enjoy Bleach the most, but I don't think it is the best. I'm pretty sure if you can tell by now what should be, in my opinion, the best one out of all three of them. But I enjoy Bleach and everything about Bleach the most out of all of them. Like, if that makes sense. Bleach is great. I actually am recently having a friend who you've seen on the channel a couple times. I'm rewatching Bleach with him so he can get into it, and he's loving it. Montati actually. Montati's having a great time watching Bleach. We've been watching it through together. Watching it back now just makes me enjoy it so much more because it reminisces why I fell in love with the show in the first place. And it's mainly because I've always been a sword man lover. Like in any anime that mainly has a predominant sword character in the main cast, I'm probably gonna lean towards that guy because there's just something about him that I mess with heavy. In One Piece, Zoro's my favorite. you know, and let's think of another show. Dragon Ball Trunks is one of my favorites. You know, there are other shows like that. Like I loved Afro Samurai. You know, there are a lot of shows out there that just have predominant sword people, and I just tend to lean towards those guys for some reason. It's just something about the swordsman character is very just there with me. I tend to really enjoy it, and Bleach is just a verse full of that, with the detailed characters, the well thought through, Shikai's, Bankai's, and all this, the design, the art, the music, everything about Bleach just screams greatness. Now, moving on to number two, which by now, by me talking about the last one, you should have guessed it. It's going to be One Piece. One Piece has always been neck and neck with number one, as I've stated multiple times in the past. But at the end of the day, I have to give it to One Piece being number two. And One Piece is kind of just like Naruto. I don't think I've ever fully went in depth about how much I like Bleach, besides in that one video I made. But that was more of people need to stop disrespecting it. But One Piece, I actually have talked about in the past a little bit on how much I enjoy and how much it is like a top anime for me. Even though it is long, One Piece is greatness. It is like greatness in the making. It is one of the greatest animes of all time. Maybe when it's all said and done, it could be the greatest anime of all time. And I don't think, as long as you watch it or you read it, I really don't think it's very going to be much of a debate at the end of the day when it comes to One Piece's end, because One Piece's world building, its characters, its story, everything about it is, at this point, is getting more and more unmatched the longer it goes on. And it definitely has a great chance of taking my number one spot, and honestly a lot of people's number one spot, once you read or watch it and take the time to do it, because it definitely is worth the grind. But I will always tell you, it is worth it. That grind, that long hard grind, it is worth it. Now, as you can probably tell what number one is, the Dragon Ball series. Now, this, in my opinion, is the greatest anime series of all time. Now, a lot of people will disagree with that, but it's all me, of course. Dragon Ball has inspired many, many anime. It is the grandfather of a lot of anime, as I like to say. It is the peak. It is probably one of the most world known animes of all time. The only ones I can think that are probably ahead of it, actually, it's probably like Pokemon, maybe, is the only anime I can feel that is more worldwide known than Dragon Ball. And it's really not even because of the anime, it's more so because of the games that they make. But, of course, it's anime first. So, but that's besides the point. Dragon Ball it's that show. Uh, I feel like people have gotten bad examples, with recent Dragon Ball series that have came out and haven't been the greatest. Like, I don't say Super. Super was not the greatest. Definitely was not the worst show, because there are a lot of new gen shows that have came out. Not saying the popular new gens, but there's a lot of new gen shows that came out that people have overhyped, and I would argue Super's better than them, and that's very hard to do. But surprisingly, it is the truth for some shows. And so, yeah, Dragon Ball Z, GT is all right. It's not as bad as people say it is, and Super it's all right as well. It's not as bad as people say it is. All of the shows combined being a series is a great, great series, and it is arguably the greatest series of all time, and in my opinion, the greatest series of all time, with no argument at this point in time. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up the video right there. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.